Happy International Tabletop Day, everyone. So, yes, a made-up holiday, but I'm celebrating it in the best way possible. Gonna go to NaveCon today in Limerick for the first time ever. Even though it's essentially my back garden, this will be the first year that I finally get to go to it. Friday Netrunner did not happen, got the name right that time. But instead the lads are meeting up at NaveCon to play a couple of games of Netrunner. I have a couple of decks with me, so looking forward to that. Today is very much click compression in real life. I have to get a gym session in. Then I have to go to UL to pick up a running pack because I'm doing a 10k tomorrow for some bizarre reason. Then NaveCon, then out for a friend's birthday. So yeah, busy day. Got in quite a few games online last night. Again, didn't record, was just trying to test out a couple of decks, playing things while watching TV, that kind of stuff. I was playing a Blue Sun deck based on this kind of weird synergy put about on Reddit. Unfortunately, I've built this when employee strike is a thing and everyone is playing it because of IG. So that essentially ruins the deck. There's a lot of ways this deck is ruined. One of which is when you're building it and you put in all your cards and you think, well, okay, this seems good, that's good. If someone steals an agenda, it's not the worst case in the world. I'll just draw for punitive. And then you check back on your deck list later and go, oh right, I forgot to put punitive in the deck. So it's not the most competitive deck in the world, but it is fun to play. You can make a lot of money off it very quickly. I will try and show it to you in action with punitive this time. But people seem to have forgotten how to play against Blue Sun or Scorch. People were just running last click, running with 3 cards, that kind of thing. And yeah, a couple of my games that I did win was just see Scorch. It's quite a few games that I had no comebacks from. But yeah, an interesting day out. Also played my Chronos Protocol deck, which I am finding a lot of fun at the moment. It's nice to chip away at cards and pieces and things like that. Salem's Hospitality is definitely the counter I was looking for to that good old Haley deck that I've mentioned, because as soon as they start putting down 2 or 3 chameleons a turn, you just play this card, name chameleon, and they're trashing all 3 copies, so that seems like a lot of fun. That in itself probably means that deck won't be played at upcoming tournaments, but if it is, I'm prepared for it this time. Alright, I better start my day, start my weekend. International Tabletop Day today. Of course, by the time you watch this, it will be long in the past, but hey, might as well enjoy board games whenever you can. Back in UL, an old haunt of mine, collecting my race pack, and I expect it to be pretty busy. There's like 14,000 people signed up to the race, so I have brought food with me. I have Winning Agenda podcast number 80 to listen to, going through the Democracy and Dogma Corp side, so that should be interesting to get their insights, see what top tier competitive players think of the pack, and see what kind of ideas they can come up with. And then we're off down the road to NaveCon, not too far away, so hopefully this won't take too long. Get in and start playing Netrunner ASAP. Sometimes it's good to be wrong. Went in, collected a pack, there was absolutely no queue at all. So instead I was just wandering around with my lunch in hand, getting some odd looks. There was a talk on nutrition going on as well. So she was talking about eating loads of carbs if you're doing the marathon or half marathon, more so than the 10k, so I'm assuming everyone thinks I'm doing the marathon maybe twice over with my big bowl of pasta. So I didn't get to listen to my podcast, but instead I'm going to eat, and I just saw that there's an article on Netrunner, You Don't Understand Caprice, up by Eric Twice Reviews. So I'm going to have a read of that and see what they think. It's a card that people don't like, and he is arguing that it's because they don't understand it really, but we'll see. One thing I enjoy about Netrunner is that I like watching it as much as playing it, if not more so sometimes, because there's less pressure on me. Obviously I watch a lot on YouTube, but Jinteki.net also has the spectator option, and it's great to just hop into a game and see what's going on. The competitive channel, this is the only time that I'll delve into it, is to see the likes of Nordrunner, Spags, Bioken, Kiv, all of them playing, seeing what kind of decks they're playing, what kind of choices they're making, and it also helps prepare you for what you're going to see from other players, because obviously, some people will see the decks that they're playing and then try it out for themselves. So you learn both sides of the table really, how you should play as it and against it. Now I was spectating the other game, it was Spags against Bioken. Interesting game to watch, but I stuck around afterwards. They kind of started chatting a little bit, and Spags made the comment that there was like 4 or 5 people spectating their chat. Now I chimed in with, it's interesting to get their insight, and they kind of dismissed it as like, oh, I haven't played in ages, and oh, I change my decks all the time, and all that kind of stuff. But you get their thoughts on Netrunner at the moment. Good decks, bad decks. I got to hear about a couple of decks that are doing well at certain regionals, all this kind of stuff, and it is interesting to see their insights, get that little bit of added information. That is why I like watching Kiv as well, because you hear his thought process as a game is playing out. You see why he's making certain decisions, you see what kind of angle he's taking, and you can get kind of different tips and recommendations from him. Again, both sides of the table, he'll chime in of like, maybe they'll do this or they should do this. So that's really good, I think, because then you can bring those tips, that kind of insight, into your own game. Let's face it, you may not have come up with it on your own, no matter how many games you play out. This gives you an added angle that you may not have considered before. So I would definitely recommend checking out as many videos as possible. You don't have to learn just by doing as you do some other skills. You can definitely learn by watching and just trying to soak in as much as possible. So keep that in mind. Alright, the time has finally come. Finally started myself up. It is time to conquer the dreaded miscellaneous pile that I've been talking about since week 1 of the vlog. Actually, I have seen YouTubers do a very handy trick to get things done very, very quickly. So let's try it for ourselves. 1, 2, 3. No, didn't work. Okay, well, rather than spending all night at that, it's time to sit down and sort out this mess. To help me out, I've got Brain Trust, a little handy app open here. What I like to do is just search for, we'll say, Anarch event. It'll bring up all of the particular events, obviously, for Anarch. And then I can just go through, sort out all the cards like that. So I haven't split into IDs, events, programs, all that kind of stuff. And I find that's the easiest way to break it down. I will probably have to go through the huge pile, make smaller piles into, these are the factions, and then from there make like events, programs, hardware, resources, all that kind of stuff. And then from there we'll go through the app, put everything into their proper places, and be ready to go for the next couple of tournaments and live games. As I've said, there is a store championship in 3 weeks' time, and then regionals in 4 weeks' time. So it's good to have everything in one place, just to make sure that I have everything of my own, and to make sure that I'm not holding on to cards that belong to others, which is definitely a possibility. So it may not look like it, but we are making progress. We have our various miscellaneous piles. Jiteki, Neutral, Wayland, NBN, HP. So instead of one big miscellaneous pile, we have many smaller ones. We have these sorted, we've runners over there, and slow but steady progress being made. If you made it this far, welcome to the outro. I'm going to wrap this video up with a couple of short messages. So first up, we're getting a lot of games out in Jiteki, but please let me know if there's any decks you want to see, or any tweaks that I can make along the way, whether that be commentary, how I present things, or how I manage decks and things like that. As I said, you know, some people have a very structured approach. They'll do batches of games with a particular ID and then move on. So far I think I've gone like Corp Runner, so that is somewhat consistent if nothing else, but the decks have been all over the place. But in general as well, if there's anything you want to see in terms of this vlog, things you'd like me to cover, any topics, just let me know. Put them in the comment section below and we can create something beautiful together. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I think we are entering tournament season now. So a couple of weeks time we have tournaments coming up. So I think the vlogs will be a little more frequent, just so I can do a video saying I'm going to this weekend, and then a recap of how it went, rather than a video on a Friday saying I'm going to this weekend, the following Friday saying this is how it went, or oh, by the way, I'm also going to this. So I think it'll be a little bit easier. I'll break things up nicely. So I think the first will come out next Tuesday. There's a reason behind that. Ooh, an announcement of an announcement. So I'll leave it on that note with the mysterious news that there will be a video on Tuesday. You'll just have to tune in then to see what I'm talking about. Thanks very much, guys.